Hi everybody, my name is Alia and welcome back into my kitchen where I'm showing you how to make some absolutely fabulous desserts packed full of flavour and very simply. So we've got our blueberries here, I've just washed them and I'm going to just toss those into my baking dish. I've already buttered the baking dish slightly just so everything doesn't stick. And you can just spread those around. The nice thing about this dessert is it doesn't have to be, there's no technicality to it. We're really just putting the fruit into the dish, making the batter and covering it. I've also got some peaches here. I like to mix berries with other kind of stone fruits. I think it makes it more interesting. And then you've got that nice balance between acid and sweetness. And I just want to place those around the blueberries sort of evenly. So there's a nice distribution of peaches and blueberries. So once your fruit's all kind of settled, and you don't need to add anything to it. This is the fabulous thing about this recipe. No sugar, no nothing, nada. Once your fruit's ready, we're gonna make our batter. And for that, you do need either a very strong hand, a wooden spoon, or a food processor. I'm lucky enough to have a food processor, so we're going to use that. So we've got our butter, and I've got everything at room temperature. That always makes things easier when you're cooking this way. It's actually quite important. Make sure that the butter's nice and soft, and then add our sugar. Okay, I'm gonna add a soft demerara. This is a sugar from Mauritius and it's unrefined, unbleached. I'm such a big fan. It gives a lovely caramel flavor into the dish. You could also use coconut sugar if you didn't want to use sugar, but you do need to add a bit of sweetness. While your batter is softening and mixing up, you can actually add your eggs. We're adding 2. Okie dokie, now, instead of flour, we're gonna be adding some ground almonds. And this is gonna give a lovely, obviously like an almond flavor as well. Quite a nice light batter. It's also gluten-free then for those of you who are concerned about that kind of thing. Believe it or not, that's kind of about it. Now I'm gonna add one little magic ingredient. Again, this is completely optional. I've got some lovely rose water here, which I got when I was in Morocco recently. The stuff that you generally find in the supermarkets though is not quite rose water, it's rose geranium oil added into water. So be mindful that you get the good stuff. And I'm just gonna add a little splash of this because I love that exotic rose flavor into the almond mixture. Once everything's fully incorporated, and you've got this nice soft batter. Sometimes you might need to add a little bit of milk. I'm gonna add just 2 more things. I'm gonna add a splash of milk just to loosen it up so it's easy to spread over the fruit. And good old faithful things, you know, can always be improved with a little bit of lemon zest. I love the freshness that it adds. When you're zesting a lemon, just take care not to get too much of the pith. It's just gonna make whatever you are cooking bitter. But I find just the zest adds such a freshness into the batter. Just a little bit of that, and then just a splash of milk. I just wanna loosen the batter up ever so slightly so that it's gonna be easier for me to spread. You can see it's got a really nice, soft consistency, almost like a sponge cake, really. We are now going to get that into our dish. I'm gonna start around the outside of it's easier when you start at the edges, it kind of sticks to the side. Don't panic too much if it looks like there's not enough to cover. It really doesn't matter if the fruit peeks through. Lastly, I'm just gonna toss a few slivered almonds, and it's just gonna give a really nice finish. So when your delicious rose-scented almond, frangipane, blueberry, peach tart comes out the oven, you want to sort of serve it room temperature, not too hot. Obviously that way you're going to taste the flavors better. And I've got some, I mean this is not necessary, but I've got some gorgeous pink pitaya or pink dragon fruit powder. I'm just going to dust that over the top. I'm just doing this because it's pretty and also kind of matches the colors a little bit of the blueberries poking through. I'm going to serve it up, sorry, my mouth is watering, with a nice dollop of cream, which I've whipped. You can also add some rose water into the cream as well, or even some vanilla, just like that. Because the fruit tart is sweet, you really don't need to add sugar into the cream when you're whipping. And I'm going to give this a really good try. I mean, the combo of the fruit, the almond, and the cream, it's a bit of a greedy mouthful there. So nice. Not too sweet, just delicious. You could definitely go back for seconds.